Hey, what? David Duke came out and supported Occupy Wall Street. That's not news. What? How's that not news?
I love the people that are standing with him. It's great.
They're standing with Occupy Wall Street? Yeah, well, we have the American Nazis.
Yes. We have communists, we have anarchists, we have socialists, we have all the unions, and now we have David Duke.
Okay.
Well, but he explains why.
Oh, he does?
I mean, there are some reasons.
Well, you don't really need it from David Duke, do you?
You don't, because everything David Duke says, you're just like, well, it's David Duke.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Get ready to change people's oils for a living, because you just want to change their oil. That's all you want to do after you hear this, and then you think, what the hell am I doing? What am I wasting my time listening to people, talking to people about this, when this can happen, and nobody really cares?
I'm David Duke, and I don't love New York. In fact, I despise New York City and all that it represents. It's the real center of Zionist globalism.
Well,
and it's the nexus of the most massive economic fraud and theft in the entire world.
Okay, stop just a second. You know, David, you have so much in common with Satan. You take truth and fiction and merge them. So it is the center of the most massive fraud ever. But then you throw in that whole Zionist, anti-Jewish thing. That's kind of a tough one. Oh, but he makes so much sense. I don't agree with him on everything, of course, but he's right about... Here you go.
I like the music he uses to accentuate his
It's the
point.
viper's nest of the Zionist-dominated
that's
globalist media. Like
Viper's nest.
Schultzberger's New York Times that spews its pro-Israel, Zionist warmongering.
Nobody more pro-Israel than the New York Times. No one.
Oh, pro-war, too.
Oh, pro-war, pro-Israel.
Yeah,
That's
New
all
York
I think
Times.
of when I think of it.
Warmonger, New York Times.
Run by Jews, you know.
Yep.
Can I tell you something? If it was run by Israelis, you might say that. Run by American Jews, there are some people that are no more anti-Semitic than American Jews. There are times, the New York Times, please, you go talk to Israelis, and you're on a different planet. You talk to people here in America, not by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what the majority is. That is anti-Israel here in America. That is Jewish.
Well, I remember this is not coming from you. This is from many people over in Israel told you that exact thing. That's how they see it. I mean, and it's,
this isn't a Glenn Beck opinion.
No,
this is an Israeli opinion.
Yeah,
it's
interesting.
They don't see the American left or the American Jewish left as an ally to Israel,
because they're not.
They're not. They're not.
And that's the theory. I mean, that's the. I mean, President Obama's not Jewish, but I don't see him as a friend of Israel.
No.
It's a left.
I'm not saying that they're. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're.
I know you're not saying. I'm just saying, even from their perspective. I mean, when you're in Israel and you're being targeted, you're being hit by rockets every day. To see
the New York Times come out and say, well, occupiers. What?
Yeah, it's
resistance is justified when people are occupied.
Wait,
no, I'm not saying that is not an American Jewish thing that is that they have perpetrated, but many of them support. Many of them are like, "Yep, I'm with those guys." Excuse me? How?
No, I mean it's been something that's been tossed around in political circles forever. I mean, it's to see how many.
You ready for this? I would like to make a prediction. Here we are, taking apart David Duke. And if this story is to be run about David Duke, I'll bet you that what I'm saying against David Duke is turned into Glenn Beck on an anti-Semitic tirade. Watch,
right.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
That's that, and they will leave out the whole David Duke thing.
Right.
And if they do put it in, it'll make it look like I somehow or another agreed with David Duke.
It's funny because it's actually probably true that they hate you more than David Duke.
Oh, no question.
I mean, David Duke is a well-known KKK guy.
Yeah,
and
everybody hates David Duke. Well, there's a few people, there's a few people with sheets that don't hate David Duke.
Was he not literally the Grand Poobah or wizard or whatever?
I think he was literally.
I don't know. I have never been off to see the wizard.
Yeah.
Jeffy, are you up on your David Duke stuff?
Yes, he was, and he has disavowed former KKK.
Oh, he doesn't.
He sounds like he's disavowed all of his prejudice.
And listen,
in these
here's
quotes.
Wait. He's disavowed?
I think he's the former KKK guy.
Is he too radical for the KKK, or is he like they're not strong enough?
I believe when he was running for office, he got out of that. But I mean, I don't think he's holding back his prejudice as we're hearing.
So in other words, he may have dropped the radical pose for the radical ends.
Yes,
okay, but he certainly sounds like a racist. And an anti-Semite here.
And he's just getting the common sense machine warmed up now. He's just starting to rev it up.
All right, good.
These Zionist spawn wars cost 100 times the American lives lost in 9/11. Its moral degeneracy and anti-real art and anti-family spreads like a virus across America.
Hold on just a second. I'm trying to get my arms around. I know there's so much to go here, but anti-real art?
Yeah, that's a big New York thing, that they're anti, and especially the New York Jews, anti-real art.
I didn't
always have been.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Zionist Jews, you knew that, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I mean, I was just at MoMA, and I hate the art at the Museum of Modern Art. I hate it, but it's still art. I don't know. Anti-real art.
Yeah.
Well, you are in a specific place to comment on this because
the 100th most important art person in the world.
Yes, by some art magazine did rate you that. So you can say whether New York is anti-real art or not.
No,
and confirm or deny the David Duke accusation.
I would say that the American Jew, or let's just because I don't think he's even saying the American Jew. I just say all Jews are anti-real art. I'm going to have to say a big negatory on that one.
Okay.
I'm going to go
against David Duke on that?
Expert.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say a big negatory on that one.
You may lose the story.
You know, that's a good way to get kicked off the top 100 important art people by disagreeing with David Duke. Wow, that's a tough stand. That's a tough stand.
New York sits like a giant putrid, obese leech, sucking the life out of any American business. It actually produces real.
No, you haven't.
Hang on just a second. Can I tell you something? I don't like New York. This guy
is like a giant obese.
This guy is out of his mind. I mean, as a guy who can't get out of New York fast enough, I feel like, don't you say that about my town.
I know.
I'm living here for another 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you're pissing me off here.
Millions of American workers and American stay-at-home companies on the altar of so-called free trade. New York is the home of master swindler Zionist Bernie Madoff.
Oh, boy.
But Madoff is really
stop. Hang on just a second. It was the Jewish part of Bernie Madoff that made him so evil, wasn't it?
Really? I don't think that had anything to do with it. Maybe the criminal part? You
don't think it was the Jew part of him that made him do it? Come on, Stu. You just heard it from David Duke.
I guess if David Duke is saying it, I mean, there's an authority.
Well, I didn't even think. You know what? And I didn't even know. I mean, everybody's going to say, what are you, stupid? Just the name, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Is that a Jewish name? I didn't even think.
I didn't either.
Is he Jewish? Is he Catholic?
I started looking into it. I started looking into it, and I found that originally Madoff was also anti-real art.
Oh, wow.
And then it hit
Get out of here.
Of course he's Jewish.
They're the Zionist thieves at the Federal Reserve, such as Ben Shalom Bernanke and former
stop. Ben Shalom Bernanke.
Gee, this guy.
That is the way. See, it's all coming together now.
Right. It's not their policies. It's not that they do a terrible job. It's not that Bernie Madoff was involved in criminal activity. It's because he's a Jew. I mean...
I just want you to know. Could you please we'll come back and play some more of David Duke, because this is good stuff. But play the lady again from Occupy L.A., from the teachers union. Play her. I mean, this is not unusual, gang. This always happens. It's a pattern that keeps repeating all throughout history, and it always happens when there are socialists and Marxists and collectivists. Always. I could go into a really good theory on why that happens. Stations, I don't think you want me to, so I'm going to hold back, even though it is Anything Can Happen Day.
Very impressive
on the Glenn
Anything
Beck
Can
program.
Happen Day.
It is.
It's very impressive.
It is, I know.
But
okay, so here we go.
I think that the Zionist Jews who are running these big banks in our Federal Reserve, which is not run by the federal government, they need to be run out of this country.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
surprisingly, not David Duke, but another supporter of Occupy Wall Street. You see, that's what David Duke is doing here. He's just setting up how much he hates New York, but he's with the Occupy Wall Street people. They must be so proud to get that endorsement. No one is reporting it.